Hey, welcome to Big, and today in front of me I have the Soundcore portable Bluetooth speakers. These are marketed towards value. They tend to be fairly priced, and you get a lot of sound and you get a lot of features for your money. I've recently have purchased these. I'm going to be using them for gifts for the holidays, and I wanted to share these with you if you're not familiar with Anker Soundcore speakers. I got a variety of speakers, and this is the first time I come across them. I've watched a lot of great YouTubers out there who have talked about these, and until I got a chance to hear them in person, I really wasn't considering them. But once I heard them, I was really impressed. So if you have the chance to go to a local big box dealer or somewhere that sells these, give them a chance, listen to them. I think you'll be really surprised. Each of these speakers is really designed for different applications. They really do sound pretty good for what they are. And so I just want to go through these, give you some ideas. I'm going to show you what they look like in different places, so maybe you can compare the size. I'm going to show you some of the features, and then lastly try to give you a sound demonstration as best I can through the mic of my cell phone. So over here we have the Mini 3. 5 or 6 watt speaker, single driver firing up, so this is mono, and it is a type C input for charging. Has the lanyard, which makes it very portable, very pocketable, small tabletop speaker. You can get away with it in different areas of your house or your kitchen, your bedroom. You do have to increase the volume, but of course the battery life may not go as long. This is rated at 15 hours, waterproof, and will float. Then you have the Anker 3. This is a 16 watt portable speaker, 2 drivers, passive radiators, has a little port in the back. Also has the lanyard, and is also a type C charger, 24-hour battery life, floats, waterproof, really nice, easy to see buttons at the top. This one, the Mini 3, the buttons are a little bit harder to see, but you do have a light indicator for Bluetooth and a light indicator for your power, and of course you have that LED light. Over here we have the Flare 2. You have the buttons at the top, LED at the top, LED at the bottom. This is a 12-hour rated speaker, 2 drivers on the side, passive radiators near the top. This is I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is a 10 watt on each side, so about 20 watt speaker. This is 360 sound, or you could say 180, but it really works great. The bass does tend to get pretty low, and you can hear that punchy bass. They all have the bass up feature, and they all use the Anker Soundcore app. The app is really important to customize it to your liking. You can adjust the bass, the mids, the highs. You can change the colors of the LED lights here. You can just do a lot with the Soundcore Anker app. If you don't want to use the app, these will pair just fine with your device, and you don't have to use the app if you don't want to. And another feature I really like about these 3 speakers is they offer what's called Partycast. You can zone these in different areas of your home. Maybe you have one in the kitchen, maybe you got one in your living room or your dining room or whatever. And so one speaker pairs to the other 2, and then the main speaker pairs to your device, and you can control your speaker all from your phone, up the volumes, down the volumes. And what's really nice is when you're done listening, if you come to the main one and you just hit the power off, it will automatically power off the other 2 for you, assuming that you're done listening. As far as battery indicators, you don't really get much of a battery indicator on the device. The LED lights on these tend to flash in different ways to try to give you indication if it's needing to be charged or if it's finished charging. Your device is probably going to be the best way to tell how far along you are in battery life. I know I use Samsung cell phones, and when I pull down my Bluetooth option, it actually gives me a percentage. If you look on the app, I can't see a percentage, but I do see the bars, and so that does give me a nice indicator. As far as weight, the Mini 3 is definitely the lightest of these 3 speakers, the most pocketable of these 3 speakers. I would say between the Flare and the Anker 3, the Flare is probably more heavier, probably least of the pocketable, but it has this cloth type of feeling mesh around it. It's really easy to grip, really comfortable to hold on to. Surprisingly, the Anker 3, even though it's a nice candy bar type of shape, it's not as pleasing to grab as the flare. But again, these are really similar in size, so when I put them together, you can kind of see what they look like there. Here I'm going to play a royalty-free song just to give you an idea of what these speakers sound like. I am using the mic on my cell phone, so I'm not sure how well that's going to come through. It may be best to use a headphone. I hope this helps. I'm going to start on the left-hand side with the Flare 2, work my way up to the Mini 3, and then back down to the Anker 3, and then repeat that a couple times for you to hear that. So let's go ahead and do that. One thing I do got to mention about the Anker 3 here, this is a very directional speaker. So if you're going to be in the house and you want to listen to this maybe in a kitchen or somewhere, it probably does best in a corner where you can direct the sound. If you're having a conversation with somebody, maybe you're sitting at a counter or a bar, it's tough to put this between you or near you in a way where maybe it's not overpowering one person. You really want to distance this. A little trick I've kind of done to help sometimes if I want to keep the speaker close by is I just lay it back. And if you lay it back, the bass still tends to be good. It's not as strong because that port area is being covered. But, you know, and the other thing is if you put it on a cloth bass, that can muffle the bass a little bit. But it does do better the way it's supposed to be positioned as this and in a corner of a room. Really amplifies the bass. Very good highs, good mids, good lows. This one does really well, the Mini 3, in between two people. So if you want to have a conversation and just have some music in the background or chatting with somebody, or maybe you're playing a board game and you sit it right between you, you get the nice lights. It's very comfortable. I tend to like this better if I'm tired of wearing headphones and I want something better than my speakers on my cell phone. This does that. But when you really want to crank it up and get the volume, it gets challenged. The battery life is not as strong. That's where you'd want something obviously much stronger that can handle it and is made to handle it better. The Flare 2 tends to sound the best to me out of these three speakers. The Flare aesthetically to me is really pleasing, especially with the lights. If you don't like the lights, you can turn them off. They work great in a darker environment. They're pleasing to look at. Some speakers, you just enjoy looking at them. I mean, you're obviously listening to them, but they really just go well with the decor in your home, and they really set an atmosphere and an environment that you just want to be around. So I do like this one because of the lights. The battery life, 12 hours for me, has worked really well. I tend to be a medium to low volume listener. I like music in the background. I'm not looking to have a party or anything like that. If you're looking to jam out, you probably would want like a bigger speaker like I have back here. This is the Motion Boom. I'll talk more about this in a later video. Now, as far as the quality between the three of them, like I said, this one tends to sound good, but when you compare it to something that's much stronger, it's going to struggle at higher volumes. But it sounds good. It has a nice bass at lower volumes. Very nice for a small environment. Again, this one, if you got it in the right place, especially a corner, you can get a lot of nice bass out of it. The highs and mids are good, but it's very directional. So if you're the kind of person who tends to sit in a certain spot and you're not looking to move around too much, this is great. This one I like a little bit better because I tend to move a lot. I don't need that really strong directional sound. I want the sound to really just travel around in 360. I like to put this in places where a lot of people are walking around and they can all really appreciate the sound when they're with this. So again, this is the Mini 3 Pro. This is the Pro version, which has the LED. You can get it non-Pro with non-LED, I think, through Amazon. The Pro, I think, is exclusive to Walmart, which is where I got this. The Flare 2, you can also get most places, and of course the Anker 3. Price point now, I've seen these go for anywhere from $40 to $45, depending on the color and the LED or not. I've seen the Flare 2 go anywhere from as high as $80 to as low as $60. Maybe Black Friday specials, maybe lower. I've seen the Anker 3 go from anywhere from $50 to maybe as low as $40. So if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.